Hello everybody and welcome to Human Systems Engineering 101. My name is Professor Russell Brannigan and I will be your instructor for this class. And I wanted to take a little bit of time to introduce you to the class and kind of orient you to how the class will work. It will typically involve two systems. One is called Blackboard, and you're very familiar with that, I bet, since you've made your way here. And then the other is called MindTap, and you might be less familiar with that, but it's another learning management system which will house most of our material and videos and so on. So I wanted to introduce you to those things and a few things about the class so we can get started off on a good foot. So we'll start with just a simple welcome, of course, and that's this tab over here on your left, which you've already found your way to, I see. We'll talk a little bit about your instructor, that's me, a little bit about the syllabus and the textbook and how to go about getting the textbook, and then we'll discuss the course content, the research credit requirement, and a little bit about grades, and that should get us started. So let's start with the instructor. As I mentioned, that's me, Russ Brannigan. And I will just bring that up here, and it'll take a second apparently, but it's coming up here, and you'll see my smiling face. There I am. So again, welcome to HSE 101. I'm Dr. Russell Brannigan. I'm an Associate Professor of Human Systems Engineering at ASU. My goal in teaching is I'm really interested in trying to present this material as simply as possible. In fact, as an instructor, I consider that an obligation. So with some of the material in Human Systems Engineering, this can be a bit of a challenge, but I'll certainly give it my best shot, and I'll ask that you do the same. In the meantime, welcome to the class. Let's talk about the other parts of Blackboard. So our syllabus, that's of interest, I'm sure. So let's take a look at that real quick, and the cursory information is at the top. I will note that in terms of office hours and email, the best way to contact me is through email. Office hours are by appointment, and of course this is an online class. This includes fundamentals, principles, methods, and fields in human systems engineering. So this will include an awful lot of things related to cognitive science and how that applies to the design of products, processes, systems, and so on. Basically, in many ways, this is taking experimental psychology and applying it to the design of things, services, and processes. I think I would like to give you a quiz once every week, with the exception of the first week. Actually, the first 2 weeks, your first quiz will happen after the second week. And then it'll be one quiz per week thereafter. So if you look at the grading due dates, you'll see chapter quizzes. There will be 15 points each for a total of 210 points. Then there will be an experimental participation requirement. That is, you'll have to participate in 3 experiments or write 3 short papers on studies of experiments, and each one of those will be 25 points for a grand total of 75. In order to participate in that, you'll have to sign up for something called the SONA system, which I'll describe to you as well. And that SONA system, you get 5 points just for signing up. So it's a total of 290 points. Here are the letter grades associated with this. You'll notice I use both pluses and minuses in this way of grading. And then here are the schedule of topics. And then please do read through the course standards, academic integrity, and all the other components here in the syllabus. But I will make sure I go over and talk to you about these other things that I promised I would tell you about. So if we go out here, we're no longer on the syllabus. We will look at textbook information, which will be the 1, 2, 3, 4th item on your left-hand side. And here it indicates that this is an electronic book, and it's an accompanying learning management system called MindTap. Access is directly from the Blackboard site content tab, and you'll see that content is right here, course content. Instructions are provided in the document titled Class Materials Registration Quick Guide, And here you can see it's the custom bundle, Discovering Psychology, or if you just want the digital copy, you can buy it online. No physical book will be with it, and it'll probably be cheaper. Actually, this is kind of the recommended approach, is the second one here. So that's the textbook information. If we go to course content, you'll see a few things. One here, for that MindTap guide, the way to register for it is right here, and if you click on this, it'll give you instructions for how to do it. If you go down a little further, it'll show you the user's guide for using MindTap. It's fairly straightforward. It'll take a little bit of getting used to, but it's not too awful bad. And then one of the things that unfortunately I cannot do for you very well is to provide you with much technical support. I'm not very helpful in that regard, but Cengage has a really helpful technical support group, and you can get to them by clicking on this link here. If you have trouble with Cengage at all, please get in touch with them through this. And then if you want the course material, which of course you will want the course material because that's what the course is all about, you will click on this HSE 101 here, and you will start to see the material come up. It may ask you to register and some things like that. But as you do that, on the left-hand side, once you get here, it'll show you the various chapters. In fact, there's a couple views here. It looks like this one is selected here, which shows you all the chapters and the activities associated with it. And then, if I look at this, this shows me my week view. So this shows me what's happening during week 1. And according to this, I haven't added activities yet. That's not really true, but you will see things in there. And the same with week 2 and week 3, and you'll just progress by clicking on these things all the way down. So that will provide the material for the course. Let's see if I can get out of this without causing too much trouble. It looks like I can. I mentioned a few other things. So that's course content. That's where most of the activity is going to be. And particularly when you want to see your materials, it'll be under this link for HSE 101. There will be a few other things from time to time. Well, let's see. Where should I take you back to first? I mentioned a few other things. In here are your PowerPoint slides. Typically, those things will have lectures associated with them that are actually in MindTap, but if for some reason you want to come out and look at the slides alone, they are here under this item here, PowerPoint slides. Now let's talk about the research credit. As I mentioned, one of the obligations of being a human systems engineering student is to participate in the subject pool or the research pool. And what this means is that you will have to participate in 3 credit hours of research participation. And that means typically you come into the university, you participate in a study where a graduate student or a professor uses you as a research participant, and you participate in that. Now, understandably, this is an online class. So often these research credits are available online. And in fact, a lot are becoming available online increasingly. So you'll get an opportunity to do that. Now, if for some reason you're not able to do that, for example, there aren't enough online studies, well then you can do something else, which is simply to summarize an article, one article for each credit. So what that means is if you wanted to do 3 credits, well, you would choose 3 of these 4 articles here. If you only needed 1 credit because you did the others by coming in or by participating online, then you would choose 1 of them here. But these are 3, or 4, I should say, important articles here. And you would summarize that article. And I'll see if I can provide some additional information for how to go about doing that here. In fact, I should be able to do it right here where it says Subject Pool Presentation. Oh, it's downloading. Just a minute. Here's one. So here is how the 101 subject pool works. The subject pool coordinator is Dr. Scotty Craig, and as he indicates here, he created these slides for us. Your job is to complete 3 hours of research credit, and then you have the option of doing an extra credit of 1 hour, so a total of 4. You get credit by participating in experiments, or you could get credit by writing a 350-word article summary of several papers. Each paper will earn you 1 credit and requires 350 words or so. And then you can mix and match the credit options. So to get your 4, if you were going to get 4 credits, it would perhaps be 3 experiments and 1 paper. The length of participation equals the number of hours of credit. So a half hour would be 0.5 credits, 1 hour would be 1 credit, etc. You would log on to the SONA system site and fill this out. You can see where it says participant pool, for example. You would fill in that information, or you would request an account. And then you would fill in this information to request an account. There's the student sign-up screen. As the semester progresses, different experiments tend to come and go. Please don't wait till the last week or 2 of the semester to try and get your 3 hours, because you might not be able to get it. One other thing, if you're under 18 years old, you cannot participate in the subject pool, and you can email Scotty Craig, scotty.craig@asu.edu, and he will be able to give you an alternative. These are the alternatives to the experiment participation instructions. Basically, if you're going to write an article summary, those instructions are here. Read the article, write a report. The report must be written in your own words and go beyond the article abstract, etc. Select an article summarized in the SONA system under View Available Studies. Click on the link displayed. Enter your name in the first box and paste your summary in the summary box. The deadline is the last Friday of class, but not the last Friday during finals week. The last Friday of class. That is before finals week at 11:59 p.m. Yep, and there is Scotty's email. Should you have any questions about this at all, it is scotty.craig@asu.edu. This area here is called hallway conversations. And hallway conversations is sometimes you just have questions and you'd like to ask me those questions or ask your colleagues those questions. You can post those here. Please do that as much as possible. If they come to me, chances are there's students that have the same question and I end up answering them, but I've only answered them for you, and then the other students don't get the benefit. So please post your questions here and I will check them. If you do post a question and for some reason I don't get back to you in a reasonable amount of time, then please do send me an email. There will be a time I get too tied up with whatever I'm doing and I don't check this, in which case I'd appreciate an email from you saying, hey Russ, would you please check your hallway conversations? And then here's if I wanted to email you, for example, and then my grades are located in here. So I hope this is of some help for you to sort of orient you to what we'll be doing this semester. I'm certainly looking forward to working with you on this. I always love teaching this class, and I love getting to know the students who do take this class. If you have questions for me, either post them in the hallway conversations or send me an email, and I'll look forward to seeing you online.